Hey everyone, welcome back to Tune in English, your daily English conversation practice. I'm Anna.
And I'm Adam. We're really happy you're here with us today. If you're new, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes.
So, Adam, how's your week going? You look a little tired.
Honestly, Anna, it's been one of those weeks. You know when you have so much to do that your brain feels like a traffic jam? Like all the cars are honking but nothing is actually moving?
Oh no, that sounds stressful. What happened?
Okay, so I have this client, right? And yesterday she calls me out of nowhere and says, Adam, I'm going to need the new logo by Friday. And when she said Friday, my heart just dropped.
Because you already had everything planned.
Exactly. I had my whole week organized. I was going to work on Jake's website Monday and Tuesday. Then I was going to finish a poster design for another client on Wednesday. Thursday was for editing. It was all in my calendar. Color-coded, by the way.
Wow, color-coded. That's serious planning.
I know. I felt very organized. And then boom, one phone call changed everything.
So what did you say?
Without even thinking, I just said, sure, I'll do it. I'll send it by Friday. The words came out before my brain had time to check my schedule.
And that right there is today's lesson.
Wait, what?
You just used both forms. You said, I was going to work on Jake's website. That was your plan. And then you said, I'll do it. That was your quick decision in the moment.
I didn't even notice that.
And that's the beautiful thing about language. Sometimes you already know how to use it correctly. Today we're talking about two very common ways to talk about the future in English, will and going to.
Yes, because honestly, sometimes I just choose one and hope it sounds right.
You're not alone. Even advanced learners feel confused about this. They ask, is there really a difference? Does it matter? And the answer is yes, but it's simpler than you think.
Okay, I'm ready. Organize my messy brain.
Let's start with going to. We use going to when we already have a plan. The decision happened before this conversation.
So the key word is before.
Exactly. Imagine your brain has a little calendar. If something is already written there, you use going to.
Like, I'm going to work on Jake's website Monday and Tuesday. I decided that last week.
Perfect example. Or, we're going to visit my parents this weekend. We already bought the train tickets. It's planned.
Or, I'm going to start going to the gym next month.
That's a dangerous example.
Why?
Because people say that every month.
True, but still, it's a plan. I thought about it before speaking.
Exactly. Even if you don't actually go to the gym, grammatically, it's still a plan.
So, going to equals plan decided before speaking.
Yes. And here's something important for natural English. In real conversation, we usually don't say going to. We say gonna.
Right, I'm gonna call you later.
We're gonna watch a movie tonight.
So gonna and going to mean the same thing, it's just more informal.
Exactly. If you're speaking casually with friends, gonna sounds very natural. If you're in a formal presentation, you might say going to.
Good to know, so don't panic if you hear gonna. It's not different grammar.
Exactly. Same meaning, different style.
Okay, now let's talk about will.
Yes. Will is for decisions you make in the moment. Something happens and you react immediately.
Like my client calling and I said, I'll do it.
Perfect. You didn't wake up that morning thinking, I'm going to accept a new project today. You decided when she asked.
So will is spontaneous.
That's the word. Spontaneous means not planned, happening naturally in the moment.
Let me try an example. If you say, I'm cold, I might say, I'll close the window.
Exactly. You're reacting to what I just said.
But if earlier I decided that at 9 p.m. I'm going to close the window because it gets cold at night, that's different.
Yes, then it's a plan. You'd say, I'm going to close the window at 9.
Oh, this is starting to feel clear.
Good. Let's imagine another situation. You're at a restaurant. The waiter asks what you want. I already looked at the menu and decided. I say, I'm going to have the pasta.
Because you planned it while reading the menu.
Right. But you're still thinking. The waiter is waiting, you panic and say, I'll have the burger.
That's a decision made right then.
Exactly. Same situation, different feeling, different grammar.
I like that. The grammar follows the feeling.
Yes, English often works like that. It's not just rules, it's emotion and timing.
So let me summarize. Going to equals plan already in my calendar. Will equals decision in the moment.
Perfect summary. And if you remember nothing else from today, remember that difference.
My brain already feels less crowded.
Good. And we're just getting started.
Okay, so we understand plans and quick decisions, but I've heard that both will and going to can be used for predictions. That's where I usually get confused.
Great point. Yes, both can talk about predictions, but the feeling is slightly different.
Uh-oh, slightly different sounds dangerous.
Don't worry, it's actually very logical. We use going to for predictions when there is evidence.
Evidence, like in a crime show?
Exactly like that. Imagine you're a detective. You see clues. Those clues tell you what's going to happen.
Okay, give me an example.
Look outside. The sky is dark, the wind is strong, you can hear thunder. What do you say?
It's going to rain.
Yes. Why?
Because I can see the evidence. The dark clouds are right there.
Perfect. You're not just guessing, you're using what you see.
So if I see a glass on the edge of the table and someone bumps the table, I say it's going to fall.
Exactly. The evidence is in front of you.
Or if I see you studying every day for 3 months, I might say you're going to pass the exam.
Yes, I can see your effort. That's the evidence.
So going to for predictions with visible clues.
Right. Now let's talk about will for predictions. We use will when it's more about opinion, belief, or personal feeling.
So no clear evidence.
Exactly. It's more like a guess or something you believe. For example, I think it will rain tomorrow.
But I'm not looking at clouds right now.
Right. Maybe you just feel like it's going to rain. Or maybe you heard someone mention it. It's more of a general belief.
So if I say I think our team will win the game, that's my opinion.
Yes, you don't have proof. It hasn't happened yet. It's your belief about the future.
What about something like, don't worry, everything will be okay?
That's a beautiful example. You're comforting someone. You're expressing hope or belief.
So going to is the detective with evidence, and will is the fortune teller with a crystal ball.
I love that image. Yes, detective versus fortune teller.
Let's practice. Give me situations.
Okay, you see your friend carrying 10 heavy boxes. He's shaking. What do you say?
He's going to drop them. I can see it happening.
Good. Now imagine you're thinking about your next vacation. You say, I think it will be amazing.
That's my opinion. I can't see the future, but I believe it.
Perfect. Now here's another important use of will, promises and offers.
Ah, yes, like when I say, I'll help you.
Exactly. That's an offer. You're deciding in the moment to help someone.
Or I'll call you tonight. That's a promise.
Yes. Promises, offers, and even threats often use will.
Threats? That sounds serious.
Not always serious. It can be playful. Like, if you eat my chocolate, I will be very upset.
That's not playful. That's real.
Okay, true. But the structure is important. If this happens, I will do that.
So it's a reaction to another action.
Exactly. It shows your response.
Let me try something. If the phone rings right now, I'll answer it.
Good. You're reacting to the possibility.
But if I already planned to call my mom at 7, I'd say, I'm going to call my mom at 7.
Yes, the plan was made earlier.
I think I'm starting to see how natural this actually is.
That's the goal. English learners sometimes try to memorize long grammar rules, but it's better to understand the feeling.
Let's talk about common mistakes. I've heard learners say, tomorrow I will go to the store and I will buy milk and I will cook dinner.
Yes, that's very common. It's not wrong, but it sounds robotic.
Like a robot reading a schedule.
Exactly. If those are your plans, it's more natural to say, tomorrow I'm going to go to the store, buy milk, and cook dinner.
So when everything is already planned, going to sounds smoother.
Yes, overusing will for all future situations is a common sign that someone is translating from their first language.
And what about the opposite mistake?
Using going to for quick reactions. For example, someone drops their pen and you say, I'm going to pick it up.
That sounds slightly strange.
It works grammatically, but I'll pick it up sounds more natural because it's an immediate reaction.
So it's not about right or wrong. It's about sounding natural.
Exactly. And here's something important. Native speakers are not perfect either. Sometimes we mix them up. The difference isn't always strict.
That's comforting.
Yes, don't aim for perfection, aim for communication and clarity.
So if I say, I think I'm gonna like that movie, is that okay?
Yes, because maybe you've seen the trailer. That's evidence.
And if I say, I think I will like that movie, that's more of a general feeling.
Exactly. Both are possible, but the nuance is different.
This is actually kind of fun. It's like choosing the right color when you paint.
I love that comparison. The meaning is similar, but the shade is different.
So let's review again quickly.
Okay, going to for plans and predictions with evidence.
Will for decisions in the moment, promises, offers, and predictions based on belief.
Perfect. And remember, your instincts are often correct.
That makes me feel more confident already.
Good, because confidence is just as important as grammar.
I feel like my messy desk of grammar just got organized into two clear folders, plan and moment.
And once you see those two folders, it becomes much easier to choose.
All right, should we lock this in with some vocabulary practice?
Yes, let's do that. Vocabulary helps everything stick in your memory. All right, let's lock this in with some key vocabulary. When you understand the words around the grammar, everything becomes clearer.
I'm ready. Hit me with the first one.
Will. W-I-L-L. We use will for spontaneous decisions, promises, offers, and predictions based on belief.
Example, I'll grab you a coffee. That's an offer I'm making right now.
Perfect. You didn't plan it this morning. You decided in the moment.
Next word, going to.
Going to. G-O-I-N-G-T-O. We use going to for plans, intentions, and predictions based on evidence.
I'm going to start reading every night. That's my intention. I've already decided.
Yes, the decision happened before you said it.
And in real conversation, we often say gonna.
Exactly. Gonna is the informal spoken form. I'm gonna call her later. Same meaning, more natural in casual speech.
Okay, next word, spontaneous.
Spontaneous. S-P-O-N-T-A-N-E-O-U-S. It means happening naturally without planning ahead.
Our road trip was completely spontaneous. We just got in the car and drove.
Perfect example. No calendar, no schedule, just a decision in the moment.
Prediction.
Prediction. P-R-E-D-I-C-T-I-O-N. A statement about what you think will happen in the future.
My prediction is that this year will be very busy. That's my belief.
Good. Now, intention.
Intention. I-N-T-E-N-T-I-O-N. Something you plan to do, your goal or purpose.
My intention is to improve my English this year. That's a plan you've already decided on.
Promise.
Promise. P-R-O-M-I-S-E. A commitment you make to someone.
I promise I'll call you tomorrow. That uses will because I'm committing right now.
Exactly. Commitment is our next word.
Commitment. C-O-M-M-I-T-M-E-N-T. A serious decision to do something or keep a promise.
Learning a language takes commitment. You decide and you stick with it.
Evidence.
Evidence. E-V-I-D-E-N-C-E. Proof or clues that show something is true.
Look at those clouds. There's evidence it's going to rain.
Perfect. And finally, react.
React. R-E-A-C-T. To respond to something that happens.
When the baby cried, I reacted immediately. I'll check on her.
I didn't plan it, I just responded.
Exactly. That's why will is often the reaction word.
Okay, let's quickly review the 3 big rules one more time.
Rule number 1. Use going to for plans you already made.
Rule number 2, use will for decisions in the moment, promises, offers, and predictions.
Rule number 3, for predictions, going to is based on evidence, and will is based on belief or opinion.
Detective versus fortune teller.
I think that image is gonna stay in my brain forever.
See what you did there? Is going to stay. That's your prediction with evidence.
Exactly. I can see your face. I know you won't forget it.
Or maybe I will forget it tomorrow.
That's your belief. No evidence yet.
This is actually fun when you start noticing it.
That's the key. Start noticing. When you watch movies, listen to podcasts, or talk to friends, pay attention to when people use will and when they use going to.
And don't panic if you mix them up sometimes.
Yes, communication is more important than perfection. Native speakers don't stop and think about this rule every time they speak.
We just feel it.
Exactly, and you can feel it too with practice.
All right, before we finish, let's give our listeners a challenge.
Yes, here's your challenge. In the comments, write one sentence about a plan you already have. Start with, I'm going to.
And then write one sentence about a decision you might make in the moment. Start with I'll.
For example, I'm going to visit my friend this weekend, and I'll probably order dessert if I'm still hungry.
That's a great example.
We love reading your sentences, and it helps you practice actively instead of just listening.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, subscribe to Tune in English, and share it with a friend who's learning English too.
We're going to be back tomorrow with another easy, natural conversation.
And we'll help you feel more confident in everyday English.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.